Hey everyone, Soaring Gryphon here, and welcome to the draft breakdown for the Quad City Burning Bandits in the aDrive Army Battle League Red League. Keeping this nice and short because my computer has been having some problems recently. I'm just going to talk about this team really quickly, what I drafted and why I drafted it, so just going to keep it nice and short. First round, I drafted Silvally. I think it's a really good Pokemon. It gets things like Defog and Parting Shot, and it gets an insane amount of coverage moves. Also, I can run it any type every week, so I can run any memory on it. I don't have to tell my opponent what kind of Silvally I'm bringing. They just have to guess and prepare for all 18 types, which I think is really good. Second pick, we picked up Mega Altaria. It's a really good Dragon and Fairy type. Has a few weaknesses, but I think it's just a very, very good Pokemon. It can hit really hard with like Pixelate Return and Pixelate Hyper Voice. Gets good coverage with like things like Flamethrower and Earthquake. Round 3, we picked up Bisharp. It can hit really hard from the physical side with things like Knockoff, Sucker Punch, and Iron Head. Doesn't have a great amount of coverage, but I think it pairs really well with Mega Altaria. Round 4, we picked up Heliolisk, part 1 of our Sun Core. It can hit really hard with things like Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, Surf, Signal Beam, things like that. Really happy as it's a Volt Switcher, and also is a normal type, so it's immune to Ghost type moves. And it has Solar Power because a 1.5 special attack boost under Sun, which is insane. We have Torkoal, who's going to be our Sunsetter for the league. Really, really good Pokemon in my opinion. Gets Stealth Rocks, can Rapid Spin. Really just here to set up the Sun for other Pokemon, which that's pretty much all I'm going to use it for, which is kind of unfortunate. But Torkoal is a very, very good Pokemon. Next pick was Venusaur. Chlorophyll makes a double speed in Sun, so it pairs really well with the little Sun Core we have going. I think Venusaur is a very, very good Pokemon. It can hit really good offensively with Grass and Poison, things like Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb, and it has Synthesis, so it can recover 75% of its HP in Sun. But also, it's a really good defensive Pokemon as well, and maybe I'll use it for that this season as well. Round 7, we picked up Masquerain, really good Sticky Web user. I feel like I wanted more speed control on this team, as this team looks pretty slow. So Masquerain is base 80, and it has cool abilities like Intimidate, so that could be pretty useful. But I really just drafted for the Sticky Webs and also for a decent bit of offensive pressure. Round 8, we picked up Quagsire, Dirt Magoo himself. I think it's a decent Pokemon, having only one weakness to Grass, especially because my team isn't, like, the team definitely doesn't, the rest of the team definitely likes to take Grass type moves. The Mega Altaria, the Bisharp, the Torkoal, the Venusaur, the Entei, those love to take the Grass type moves. So Quagsire doesn't have much pressure on him, so I'm hoping it will do a lot of work as a bit of a defensive Pokemon. Round 9, I picked up Frostlass. I wanted a little more hazards that aren't rocks, so I picked up Spikes. This thing also against like Ice and Ghost is really good coverage, and also gets things like Destiny Bond, which can be super useful, especially like under webs. Like having an almost prankster Destiny Bond could be super useful. Round 10, picked up Keldeo. Finally picked up my tier 1, but it looks pretty good on this team. I didn't have a bulky water. Sorry, I already have a bulky water, so drafted a more offensive water and a good fighting type. I think it hit really, really hard from the special side, so I'm excited to see how Keldeo is going to do on this team. And my last 2 picks were Azelf and Entei. I always love a good psychic type that's very versatile, and Azelf does it for me. I always wanted to use Azelf in Draft League. It gets good moves like U-Turn, it gets an absolute ton of coverage. It can be both physical and special with base 125, I think, attack and special attack. And it has a good 115 base speed, which is very good. And the last Pokemon draft was Entei. I wanted more physical presence on this team because more than half of the team is mostly special. And this thing can hit really, really hard, especially under Sun. So I have a more offensive fire type, as Torkoal is more of a defensive Pokemon. I think I have a good amount of defoggers on this team. I think I have a good amount of. I have Torkoal as a spinner. I have a good amount of hazard setters with things like Azelf, Frostlass, Torkoal, and Masquerain. And I have my little Sun Core. My Z users are going to be Azelf, Silvally, and Masquerain. And yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys liked this draft breakdown,